On this week's weekly video fishing forecast, we have the results from last week's 2022 Fred Golofaro Montauk Surf Classic. We have a rundown of the upcoming fishing tournaments and another preview of the October glossy and digital version of the magazine, all here at thefisherman.com.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
Today is Thursday, October 6th, and what a week we had with Ian just off our coast, making fishing conditions almost impossible. Let's start off with the brave anglers competing out in Montauk for the 2022 Fred Golofaro Montauk Surf Classic. Montauk Surf regular Brendan Saucille took first place in the striper slot division with a 13.9-pound bass. Gilbert Ruin grabbed second with his 13.48-pounder, and John Bruno placed third with a 10.58-pound striper. For the bluefish division, Larry Pacifico nailed first place with a 8.14-pound fish, and Doug Pulvan placed second with a 5.58-pounder. For the catch and release striper division, Ryan Rowley took first with a 41.5-incher. Montauk surf guy Bill Wetzel grabbed second with his 39-inch bass, and Richard Fithian came in third with a 36-incher. The conditions were not easy, but many casters turned out and gave it their best. Special thanks go out to State Parks and Pauly's Tackle in Montauk for making this event happen once again. We're looking forward to the South Shore Classic coming up at the end of the month.
We are the Fish Bites Nation, and this is your invitation. So grab some fish bites and get busy casting, because you can't join the nation without doing the catching.
The October Glossy and Digital Edition is out now. First, the Glossy. Check out Matt DiGiovanna's Hardtail article. October is a month to target these speedsters. Then John Paduano, the snap jigging expert, has some great tips for using this technique from the beach. Click on the card in the top right for his snap jigging seminar. Now for the Glossy Edition, I have more tips on togging from the shore, and Bob Mickelson has a great profile on tasty codfish. Remember, $29.95 gets you 12 glossy print issues and all the weekly digital content, plus full access to the website too, and best of all, you can compete in our Dreamboat contest and Costa Kayak Pledge.
I'm Captain Greg DeBrule of the party boat Blackhawk out of Niantic, Connecticut. You've seen us at the sport shows, you've seen us on TV, magazines, newspapers. Now you can come fish with us, okay? We're fast, we're clean, and we're comfortable. And besides that, we catch them, ask around. Come visit us at blackhawksportfishing.com. We'll save a seat for you.
Tournament season is here, and here's a quick rundown of the upcoming competitions and events. October 8th, we have the Fire Island Surf Masters Tournament on Ocean Bay Parkway. October 9th is the Montauk Fall Run Castoberfest casting demo with Timothy O'Rourke. On October 10th is the Generations Bass Tournament hosted by Harbor Crab Restaurant and Marina. October 15th is the Corkers Cup Challenge hosted by Montauk Surfcasters Association. Also on the 15th is the Bergen Bay Dock 7th Annual Fall Striped Bass Tournament. On October 22nd is Bodie's 2nd Annual Striper Tournament. Entry fee is $100 per boat, and boundaries are from Shinnecock to Jones Inlet. On October 21st through 23rd is the Babylon Fall Fishing Classic. And October 28th to 30th, last but not least, is the Fred Golofaro Memorial South Shore Fishing Classic. For all the details, click on the card on the top right or visit thefisherman.com/events. Now let's go on the map and I'll tell you what I've been hearing. Out west, most boats stayed at the dock during the week, but they did manage to sneak in a few trips. Fluke were caught in the vicinity of Jones Inlet, and there were a few caught on the outside. Porgy fishing on the outside reefs and pieces was very good as well. Sea bass activity was pretty good, with anglers forced to cull their catch to eliminate many shorts. Bass have been taken at Atlantic Beach Bridge, and the night bite there is good on clams and live eels also. Near the city, bass and blues and weakfish continue to be cooperative in the vicinity of Jamaica Bay. Along the central South Shore, some of the largest fluke of the season can be found in the bays closer to the inlets or just outside the inlets on the South Shore. Back inside the bays, weakfish remained a good option, with blowfish annihilating any bait in the water. Shinnecock, Mauritius, and Fire Island inlets all had stripers during the northeast blow for surf anglers up to 50 pounds. Bucktails, rubber shads, and swimming plugs like darters and bottle plugs are working very well. On the east end, it was another tough week for the Montauk fleet due to the northeast winds. The beginning of the week saw some boats were able to get out and cash in on the fall species, including fluke, sea bass, porgies, and stripers. Keep in mind, TOG is opening in the near future. The season in Montauk opens on the 15th, and there'll be a 4 fish per angler bag limit. A decent bite of stripers also took place along the north and south side of the point for surf anglers. I did additionally hear some bigger bass being caught on the sand beaches in Montauk before the blow on clams and bunker chunks. Along the North Shore, anglers fishing the smaller bays and harbors did find some pods of bunker, and they did have some bass and blues on them. There were also albies schools inside the sheltered waters, but you really had to hunt for them. Porgy fishing remains excellent along the entire stretch, and on the North Fork, sea bass and bluefish have turned on a bit also. I also got word of some albie fishing during the northeast blow for the central and eastern North Shore surfcasters. News 12 meteorologist Rich von Ohlen has the weekend outlook. Rich.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Let's check the weekend forecast and see what we got going on. You can always check your favorite apps, favorite websites, tools, whatever you got. This is a general heads up, general overview on the upcoming weekend. So water temps have come down, of course, with all the chilly weather and the rain we've had the last several days. 60s, the 70s going back to the Gulf Stream. Looks like wave heights 2 to 4s, 4 to 8 Saturday, Sunday. I think it's an okay weekend for the ocean, doing some stuff across the Sound, all across the beaches. It's going to be a little choppy, though. A little breeze from northwest on Saturday, a little more of a westerly on Sunday, but I think manageable for the most part. We look at the Futurecast as we go through, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. Looks okay. Northwest about 5 to 15, a few gusts maybe on the east end. Saturday evening, Saturday night, we go more westerly, so I think, closer to Jersey, close to the west side, a little more manageable, but we'll get 10 to 20s for the afternoon on Sunday, but overall it's not too bad. High tide's got the full moon this weekend. North Shore for late morning, South Shore for about 6, 7 a.m. It's going to be cool on Saturday. We got 50s, so a chilly day with that breeze, and then maybe some 60s, a little warmer going into Sunday. Check the Guru with a different look here. There's Saturday, and, there's some green here. There's a little bit more of a 10 to 15, west-northwest on Saturday, but, not bad, just a chop there. A little more of a gustier west-southwest on Sunday. See that right there? So perhaps a little bit rougher, but for the most part, though, I think we're looking pretty good. So a nice weekend overall. Enjoy, catch 'em up, be safe as always. Matt, back to you.
It's time for our correspondents to check in. Let's start off with Captain Timothy O'Rourke from Montauk. Tim.
Thank you, Matt. Well, greetings everybody from Montauk. As everybody knows, the last week has been full of nothing but extreme northeast wind. Before the blow, we got a little bit of false albacore. We had a bunch of fish moving in from offshore, so we had a little fresh batch, so we did pretty good on that. A couple guys did really good Friday on the striped bass, some decent-sized fish, probably something with the barometer getting ready to drop. On the weekend, there was some bass being picked out of the surf. Nothing gangbusters for a nor'easter like we had. I know Matt was out here driving the beach. I don't think he did so hot. A couple guys picked away at a few fish, but all in all, it wasn't anything spectacular for all the hard work and the nasty weather. Tuna bites probably non-existent. We're going to get a weather window early next week. Maybe a couple guys will venture offshore. We'll see what's happened and how this has mixed up the fishing. So I'm sure the deep canyon bite's still going to be good through November, but we'll see how it is a little closer inshore. Blackfish is going to open up on the 11th and the 15th, respectively, depending on where you live and fish. And then this weekend, October 9th, Sunday, Montauk Lake Club. From 2 to 7, I am having my Sage Fly Rod Castoberfest, raffling off a bunch of good prizes. I've got a full rod and reel setup of the R8 from Sage. I have a good duffel bag from Yeti. I've got a waterproof backpack from Grundens, some Van Stahl pliers, complimentary barbecue, complimentary beer from Montauk Brewing, and it's going to be a good day on the lawn. It looks like it's going to get a little windy, so if you're out and about in Montauk, you might want to come check us out. All right, so we'll see you Sunday at our Sage Fly Rod demo. Other than that, catch them up. We got a few days of nice weather, so take advantage. Thank you, Matt.
From Shinnecock, let's check in with Mike Dean.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, everyone. Obviously, with this weather and wind, not a whole lot to report on since last week. Right before the blow started, I got into a couple of fish back in the bay on surface stuff. That was Friday. Going into sunset, the fish were a little bit bigger than usual. Nothing in terms of any cows or anything like that, but definitely encouraging to have seen, a little bit bigger fish showing up. And then, the northeast wind, obviously out east of Montauk, it accounted for some, pretty good catches for people that were willing to grind it out during the storm. And, since then this week, I've snuck out here and there, tried to use the wind to my advantage, either to, find a spot that it wasn't that much of a factor, pretty much back in the bay, or where it was helping the casting distance and making it even possible to cast. And, just really didn't get into anything. I was down at the beach a little bit earlier today, and I didn't get any. Did see another guy fishing that caught a few like 27 or 29 inch kind of size fish. So it's encouraging to know that this fish time bomb that I've mentioned, the fall run time bomb of fish, is ready to go off at pretty much any second. And there have been some really nice fish caught at night in moving water. Heard of a couple in Mauritius Inlet and Shinnecock Inlet, which kind of to be expected during, these really rough seas. And with the colder, temps, that fluke bite in the bay, a couple days where people were able to rough it out, that came together again. And, looking for more of that as things kind of calm down. So definitely be on alert, be ready to put the hours in, be ready to grind, because it's going to happen. So enjoy it this weekend. Let us know how you do, and I'll talk to you next week. Back to you, Matt.
Let's take a quick break and get the latest from the Dreamboat and Costa Kayak Clash.
The Dreamboat Challenge competition has really heated up this week with new entries in the fluke and sea bass category. Let's get started with last week's bluefish of 16.48 pounds by Ken Stark of Deer Park, New York. That puts him in second place for bluefish. Robert Fisher of Lindenhurst, New York entered a 10-pound fluke that got him on the board as the 10th place fluke entry. But the entry that had an effect on the total points was from Fausto Puglisi of Manhasset, New York, with his 4.7-pound sea bass, which lands him in third place for sea bass, pushing Dean down a point and tying him with Sam Dibner for 15 points in the second place position. The tiebreaker goes to Sam Dibner, whose 12.98-pound fluke outweighed Dean's 8.7-pound weakfish. Here are the total points of the current standings. The Dreamboat Fishing Challenge is the Fisherman subscriber-only multi-species fishing competition with a chance to win a new Steigercraft 23 Miami powered by Yamaha, along with many other great prizes. Visit thefisherman.com to subscribe and get all the details so you can be part of the action.
Hey everybody, it's Dave Anderson. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown on what's going on in the Coastal Kayak Clash this week. We had one fish hit the board, but it was an important one. A 24.5-inch blackfish entered by none other than tournament leader Justin Oser. That shook things up a little bit on the leaderboard. He's still leading, but now with 10 points. We got Bob Wagner in second place with 8 points, and Tom Hode holding down third place with 6 points.
Hey guys, it's Gene from Black Hole Outfitters. Just want to let everybody know we're having our end of season clearance event. Every Old Town boat we've got hundreds of them are on sale. Get the best prices of the season on new pre-paddled and demo boats. Check out blackholeoutfitters.com. Give us a call at the shop. You're going to get the best price on an Old Town that you'll ever get all year long. Check us out.
From the Fire Island area in Great South Bay, let's check in with Captain Lorenzetti.
Hey Matt, Fire Island report. Not a lot to report. Terrible weather the last 5 days. I will say this, the fluke bite last Friday, which was the last nice day we had, the fluke bite was terrific. I had fish on a friend's boat. We had fish to 6 pounds. We had a number of keepers and shorts, and it was really hot action around the bridge area, the Moses Bridge. And I did have fish up in Snake Hill Channel as well. So I don't know what this weather has done, if it turned that bite off, but I think it's worth giving it a try. I'm going to give it a shot over the next couple of days, see what happens. And everything now is like starting from ground zero. You got to find out exactly what's going to happen and start over again. So if you want the full report, check out skimmeroutdoors.com anytime. And that's it. Matt, talk to you next week.
With our fly and freshwater report, we have Paul McCain from River Bay Outfitters.
Hello, Matt. Well, this week, that hurricane finally made it up to here. It's not much of a hurricane, but it did have its effect on us. Yesterday, on Monday, River Bay Outfitters had their Farmington trip, and it was a little windy, but no rain. Why, Long Island got a tremendous amount of rain, but which we needed. It's a good thing. But there was no rain up there, and the water was super clear, super low. It was a perfect day for overcast, perfect day for blue-wing olives, and they came out. There was lots of blue-wing olives, and the fish were sipping off. But because the water was so clear, man, it was difficult fishing. A few people did have some fish. I personally did not. But I was up there actually using my two-handed rod because I'm getting ready for the steelhead season. I like swinging flies. But they weren't in the mood to chase any streamers or any wet flies. But otherwise, it was a great day. And what really made it nice was it was a small group, but nobody really knew each other, and they got together. You know, they really just, everything worked out fine. Everybody was chatting up. They had a great time, and that's what I love about my trips. They do a terrific time. But there was a couple fish caught. Now, I did go out fishing last week in Jones Inlet, and I was fortunate enough to have fish. Not the stripers or the bluefish or the albies, but a lot of fluke, believe it or not, right at the inlet, right from shore. We're all on the fly rod. It was pretty good. Now, here it is Tuesday. I decided I can't stay home. It's raining, it's windy, so I had to go fish certain areas, which I was very pleasant that it wasn't all weeded up, but the water is extremely dirty. So it's going to take a few days. I'm actually on my way to try another location. And if I do get the fish, I'll let you know. The Long Island Fly Rodders had their trip up to the Beaver Kill this past weekend, and the water conditions were perfect. The weather was perfect. Good group. They all went up there. They all had fish. It's really is good. This is the time to go fish the Catskills. Water is in the perfect shape. All right. So I'm gonna keep plugging away. So if I catch any fish in a few minutes, I only have 15 minutes to fish. I'll let you know, and I'll post the photographs. Until next week, tie lines, everybody.
From Miami, Chris Landry checks in. Chris.
Thanks, Matt. I'm reporting live from South Beach, Miami, where I came down for the mullet run. Locals are saying it's the most epic mullet run they've had in decades. And I came down here because the fishing in New York is about as good as the weather. Terrible. These storms have really shut the bite off. Some people say pre-storm, during storm, after storm turns on the bite. We found that it's turned off the bite. Some of the Brooklyn anglers catches fluke from shore. Still some schoolies to be had if you work hard for it and put in the hours. Ask Bay Original, he's been putting in the hours and getting a couple schoolies here and there. But have no fear, in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think it's going to turn on like a light switch. We've had a tremendous amount of bait out there. Last November was just insane with striped bass, National Geographic levels. So have no fear, we just have to wait out this weather and we'll be back to the fall run. Reporting from Miami, back to you, Matt.
Lastly, we check in with Captain Ben Gilmour from Marina Pez Vela down in Costa Rica.
Hey there, and welcome to the Marina Pez Vela, Costa Rica for this week's fishing report. The mahi-mahi bite continues to be really strong down here. We've had some great mahi-mahi fishing right now. Lots of fish in the 20-pound range being caught, with a few larger fish in the 30 to 40-pound range. We've got the first fishing tournaments of the new season coming up in November the 12th and November the 19th. It's the Dorado Derby, one of our most popular tournaments of the year. Heaviest fish wins. It's always a blast down here, so you still got time to join the fun, guys. Check us out, Marina Pez Vela tournaments. Hope to see you guys from the Northeast down here in Costa Rica to join the party. Catch you soon.
Check out this video's description on YouTube for all the related links and index for specific reports. Please support our correspondents by visiting their websites and social media pages. Don't forget that this video is available as a podcast on iTunes and Google Podcasts. Stay safe out there, and I will see you right here next week at thefisherman.com.